Okay, so this is the second session of cellular processes looking at photosynthesis and cellular respiration. This second session is highlighting cellular respiration, just the basics of it. Last time when we went through photosynthesis, we talked about how sunlight mixes up with carbon dioxide and water. We'll go through that part of the Prezi very quickly, just to preview it again. So there's the carbon dioxide, and here is the plant cell that we'll be looking at. Last time we looked at water is also involved in this process, and carbon dioxide and sunlight to help make glucose, which we'll check out in 1 second. Okay, now we have glucose. Well, one of the things I wanted to highlight that I didn't highlight last time was that although this is a complicated looking molecule, it has 6 atoms of carbon, 12 atoms of hydrogen, and 6 atoms of oxygen. It is only one molecule. There is no number before this whole molecule, meaning that there's only one molecule of it. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you understood that before we actually went into cellular respiration. We talked about last time how there is an off product, or one of the products of photosynthesis is that it produces oxygen, and we benefit from that. Let's skip over this since we've already looked at the photosynthesis reaction. And let's go on from here. Okay, so now we're getting into the products of photosynthesis are not just glucose but also oxygen. Both of these molecules are used in the mitochondria during cellular respiration to make energy. Okay, so we're going to follow these molecules in through that process, okay, as they go into the mitochondria. This is our mitochondria. Remember, we have the mitochondria. It's got that squiggly line in the middle. Okay, it means that it's actually got an outer membrane and an inner phospholipid bilayer also. All right, so 2 phospholipid bilayers here. So cellular respiration happens in the mitochondria, and this process involves oxygen and glucose, just like we talked about before. Okay, so you actually need glucose to make energy, to make ATP for all cellular processes. So anything that happens in every single cell in your body, the trillions and trillions of cells in your body, they need ATP. They need energy for all of those things to happen. Whether they're taking in food, moving out waste, taking in oxygen, moving out carbon dioxide, all of these processes, although maybe not directly involve energy, sooner or later that process will need energy to happen. Okay, so let us check out this. The one thing about oxygen being involved in this process is that oxygen actually allows a lot of energy, or a lot of ATP, to be made. Okay, without oxygen, very minimal energy can be made. Alright, so that's one of the things I wanted to highlight in this process. Okay, so we have our oxygen coming into this process. We have our glucose. Alright, so these are our reactants, okay, you could say. And then coming out of this process are 3 things, okay. We have water. Alright, water is a product of this. We have 6 molecules again. Remember that number 6, it's very important. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 molecules of water. And again, we have, as a waste product, we have 6 carbon dioxide molecules. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and we have ATP. We have 36 molecules of ATP. So we don't get that many molecules of ATP if we don't have oxygen. So if we deprive our body of oxygen, then we get very minimal numbers of ATP, and we'll be looking into that a little bit later when oxygen's not actually involved in the process of making ATP. Okay, so let us look at the formula. Okay, so here we have our C6H12O6, and remember there's only one molecule of that. That is glucose, alright? That is glucose. So you can say that a few times over in your head, and you'll get it down pat. C6H12O6. Alright, and then we add six molecules of oxygen, okay? And through this process, we end up getting 6 carbon dioxide molecules, as we just talked about, 6 water molecules, and 36 ATP. Okay, that number 6 is very, very important. Okay, it comes in front of every single molecule except for glucose and ATP. Okay, so whenever you have oxygen, whenever you have carbon dioxide, and whenever you have water, there's always going to be a 6 if you're talking about photosynthesis or cellular respiration. Okay, so this is the cellular respiration reaction right here. So at this point, you guys should be pretty familiar with photosynthesis and cellular respiration. And we will get into more details about cellular respiration in looking at how it's deprived of oxygen. That would be anaerobic respiration, and then when it uses oxygen, that would be aerobic respiration. And that's in a later part of the Prezi. And that is it. Okay, so let me think. Okay, so what I'm going to have you guys do this time, to make sure you got to the very end of the Prezi, when you come into class, take every single book, every single notebook, binder, whatever you have, and put it right on your desk. Just leave it there until I tell everybody to put them down. This might be fun. Okay, we'll try it out. Alright, see you tomorrow.